Injury report, Scott?
Swaney's out.
Swaney's out. That's the only one ruled out?
Yep.
Okay. Billy Exel is the guy I feel like that's really stood out the last 2.5 years, even go back to his freshman year. What kind of example has a guy like him set, who went from playing 6 games his freshman year to, in the lineup each and every night?
Well, that's why he's wearing a leather. He works hard every day. I think both on and off the ice. He's kind of that unsung hero, so to speak, but he's an important part of our team. Probably our best conditioned guy, and certainly when guys see that every day, the consistency to his work habits. You watch how he plays. Obviously, he's got great speed and plays the game with a lot of energy, and I think he's gained a lot more confidence each and every year, with and without the puck. And you know what? He's been a real important part of our team.
That speed he brings to the ice, is that something you see each night, that whatever situation you put him in, that seems to bring a lot of trouble for the opponents? They have a hard time keeping up with him.
They say speed kills. I mean, certainly, he's one of our faster guys, and he's a guy that's able to use it to his advantage, whether it's getting in being an F1 on a forecheck, with self-chip to himself where he can put pressure. Penalty kill, it helps too, getting up the rink and pressuring, and all those things are important. So the guys that have speed have to use it, and when they do use it, it's certainly a good asset.
How do you evaluate your team's 5-on-5 play from Saturday with how little of it was?
Whew, that's a good one. Not very good early. They were more ready to play than we were, which was disappointing. And we talked about playing 60 minutes of real hard hockey because we knew what was coming, and we didn't answer the bell very well. And again, that's 2 Saturdays in a row that our start hasn't been good enough, and it's cost us hockey games. Obviously it cost us 1 for sure, almost 2, because we got behind and tried to play catch up. But it's not good enough to start that way when you know what's coming from the other team. So I thought it was okay, Bruce. I thought once we got the first goal, I thought we got some momentum back, and then kind of lost it all in the second period with all the penalties and no 5-on-5 play. And third period, we tried, but we couldn't get it done.
I know you want your team to play with an edge and play with a good intensity level. What's the message after a weekend like that where there are so many penalties and maybe some you couldn't even be really mad at your guys about?
I'm not, actually. Again, I said it before. It's frustrating sometimes, but there are some. There's no question. But that's how games go, and you've got to keep your composure, and you've got to not get frustrated. And whether it's a good call or bad call, that's for me to do. And if our captains want to talk to the officials, they do. And I think some of our guys did get off their game a little bit because of it. And you play a little bit differently, but there were certainly some calls that, I again probably could go either way.
Western Michigan, another heavy team, another team that very aggressive in the offensive zone, one that they've got some speed and they've got some skill up front. How do you manage them this weekend?
Well, they've got a ton of speed, I know that, and obviously they're getting probably Allison back for both games, who's means a lot to their team, but they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. They've, coming off the sweep in North Dakota and sweeping Niagara, so they're feeling pretty good, about their game. And but again, like everything, we've got to, try and make sure. Again, they're pretty aggressive on the forecheck at times, and we've got to again try and get pucks out of our zone. They're a pretty heavy team down low. They really work pucks well down low, and their D are active. So we see it with quite a few teams in our league, but they've got a lot of skill up front, and so we're going to have to manage a puck. We're going to have to defend real well, and hopefully we can play a little bit more 5-on-5 time in the offensive zone than we did last Saturday.
Not only did he score in both games, and Tanner Latterer now in the mix on the penalty kill, certainly more with Swaney being out here this weekend. How's he assimilated there?
Good. He did a little bit before him and Billy, and got him back in there again. So, I thought he did a real good job. He's smart. He's a real competitive player, and he's got a good head, good hockey sense, and he's got that willingness. He'll block shots and do some of those things you need to do as a penalty killer. But I thought he did a real good job.
Second period, certainly your penalty killers were good. Your goaltender, who won goaltender of the month here this month, he earned it just in the second period alone Saturday. How strong was your kill and how strong was your goaltender?
Well, the killers, like I said, were outstanding, I thought, and that's not an easy task to come off the 5 minute and have multiple penalties that you have to kill right after that. But the scary thing is, as good as our kill was, I thought North Dakota got better on the penalty, on their power play, and that's when Shep really stepped up. I thought he was outstanding, making the saves again and keeping it a 1-goal game.
Scott, when you look at Western, you mentioned Wade Allison, but their goaltending seems to be a lot better than what we saw last year. How has that kind of changed the dynamic of that team?
Well, I think anytime you have better goaltending, your team plays more confidently in front of you. And last year when we went in there at the end of the year, they weren't a very confident team because of the injuries and because of their goaltending that was struggling. So, again, it hasn't this year. They're a healthier team. They're playing with more confidence, and certainly when you get a goaltender that is playing well, it helps your team. There's no question. Just like if you don't, it can hurt your team. So right now they've got things going the right way, and it'll be a real tough challenge here before the break to go in there and win hockey games.
How different of a team is that with Wade Allison in the lineup, or they have enough?
Well, I think he's an elite player. I mean, you saw the value of him being out of their lineup last year. I mean, Conrad was out for an extended stretch. He was another good player, and we caught them when they were a little banged up and maybe going on a little bit of a down spiral. But I think you see what his impact he's had on the games that he's been in, even though I don't think he's played back-to-back games for a while. But his impact, he's on the score sheet. He's scoring goals. Physically, he's really strong on his feet and can make plays. But there's a reason they were talking about him for the Hobie Baker last year, and obviously he had a great start before he got hurt. So, they've probably done the right thing, just making sure that he's real healthy before he kind of gets into 120 minutes. But I know we'll see him this weekend, and he plays a big part of their team. So I'm sure that for their team too, it's a good shot in the arm to know he's healthier and getting back into the lineup. So it just gives them just another little more added depth, and certainly a dangerous player.